With this breather assembly, the way it comes, any splatters of oil will come here and then come out through these little top holes and then fall back down to the bottom. But then the problem is when it cools down and sucks back in, it'll suck air from the top. So that means this acts like a catch can and ends up catching any oil that comes out of your supercharger. And I didn't want that. So you notice here there's a little seal down there that you can see through. That seal right there. So what I did was I drilled a couple holes at the very bottom right above that seal. So the point is now when, oh, and then I also blocked off, I think I just used JB Weld, the top of this. So the point was the inside. The point was when air and oil or whatever came out, pressure came out of this, I want it to come out at the bottom. So oil would build up at the bottom, but I also want it to go back in at the bottom. So the point is when the supercharger cools down, it'll actually suck back in some of that oil. So that way this won't ever get full. It'll get a little bit, but then as soon as it pulls out, pushes in a little bit, it'll suck it back out when it cools down. Also, you want this to be mounted as high as possible. It doesn't necessarily have to be above the supercharger, but if you mount it really low, it'll make it really hard for the supercharger to pull it back in up through your drain tube. So level-ish as you can with your supercharger works good, and it'll suck it back in when the temperature cools down. Everything contracts, it'll actually pull a vacuum. I actually found out that the way this was stock, blowing out the top, this actually filled up with oil, and it didn't take too long. So apparently when it expands, it splatters out a little bit of oil all the way up through the top of that dipstick tube, all the way through my little pressure line, my little 1/8 inch line that goes to this, and it ended up filling this up all the way up to the top. So now that I've done that though, and I've drilled holes, not in this one, but the one on the car, actually drilled holes in the bottom of this, it's been just wet with oil at the bottom, and that's it. So it's never gotten any higher. It gets a little bit of oil in there and sucks it right back into the supercharger.